for classmates and the fact that I had to sort of find my own way to survive, locker room humor is a completely almost transcendental aspect of social difficulty in high school. It goes just above and beyond the level of anxiety that school would have produced. I mean, you're in with a bunch of a bunch of other guys, and nobody ever instructs you on locker room protocols, so you're sitting in there having somebody steal your gym clothes or throw your gym locker padlock in a toilet or something, and because these are all things I went through. And it just, for all the anxiety that it produces, it is not worth the maybe half hour of exercise you get. If I want to exercise, I'll go to the gym after school, you know?
And, you know, it was very tough also, the transition too. It's not just the actual not knowing the rules, but
getting
having to change.
Self-consciousness around peers, maybe clumsiness, and then they jump on you for that. It's a very unforgiving society, the locker room, and school can be in general, where if you make one mistake, you slip up, that's it. You have students just completely cutting you down.
I would like to say, as an aside, that Lucas is now playing baseball with our group homes, and
under a certain amount of duress.
Yes, but he's getting a lot of encouragement. But he said you said it reminded you of the old days of sports. So, and that's something that I think everybody should remember, is that these memories, they don't just go away. They stay with you, and some of the painful memories. But right now we're talking about what helps. So, what helped you, Emily?
I guess the overall atmosphere of the classes and everything. Like, the smaller the class, the better, and it also depended on the teacher and whether he or she were good at well, not only good at there's being good at teaching, and then, you know, just making it fun. I don't know. I always hated history class, but then it was my 8th grade history class. I was only with one of 4 kids, and the teacher was great. It was I had the most fun, and I loved that history class.
So it was the size, it was the people, it was the comfort zone.
Yes.
And all of that, and being able to have a relationship with the teacher. Mm-hmm. And you're not the squeaky wheel in school, so you're kind of quiet and shy in school, and sometimes you got overlooked. Mm-hmm. But so that makes the relationships part even more important.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, RC? What was good for you? What's good for you in school?
Being with friends in class, and again, relationship with a teacher. I really like my chem teacher, and next year he's going to be teaching the pre-calc or the calc, I'm not sure which, and the physics. Yep. And I'm going to be in one of the 2 math classes and that physics class, so that's going to be fun.
He must be a good teacher, because those are really hard classes and for you to take, and so he must really be good for you to want to take those classes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, sum it up. What would you say helps, if you had to say it in a nutshell?
In a nutshell, I would say I would say that really it's just essential for us to have people who are willing to meet us halfway, to make the effort to understand our needs and not just write us off as being manipulative.
Very well said. Alex, what is something that is not good to have at school, something that doesn't help? Do you remember what you wanted to say? Or should I come back to you? You had talked about bullies, right?
Yeah.
As a bad thing, getting picked on.
Thing.
Is that one of the things that you would have said?
Yes.
Yeah. So I thought I heard you say that. So have you been picked on in the past? Not in your new school, but in the past you had experienced bullies? Or you just know that's a bad thing?
Just know that's a bad thing.
Yeah. And we would never bully anybody.
No.
Right? No. Andy, what about you?
I wasn't really picked on that much, but I think probably because I I was a pretty good runner, and I got in, like I sort of fit in with the in crowd, so to speak. So.
What wasn't helpful about
But
school?
I think some of my teachers didn't really understand me that well, and they sort of, they would almost ask like, why do you want to go out for the, like I would go to the resource room to take tests sometimes, well all the time actually, but sometimes they would actually like wonder why I would, like if they weren't really that understanding of me, like they would try to keep me in the class, like and say like, everybody else is taking the test in the class, why don't you do it? So I really did not like that at all. So.
No. So how did that make you feel?
Like I was, like stupid almost, and I was, but I was determined to still go out and take the test in the resource room and stuff.
Well, that's one word we can say about you, is
Yeah.
determined.
Yeah.
You know that, like, and that was something that was supposed to help you, and these teachers were trying to talk you out of it.
Yeah.
And you knew exactly when you know that you need something, you make sure you get it. Right?
So I still went out and took the test in the resource room. So.
Did you ever tell anybody how that made you feel, or?
A little bit. Like my parents knew about it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they try to help so that you?
Well, yeah, like they made sure that all the teachers knew that I was supposed to go to the resource room, so.
Yeah. Well, I have to give you credit because that's standing up for yourself.
Oh yeah.
And that's not always easy to do.
Because the paraprofessionals that I had, like if they were in the class with me, they would take me out anyways.
Yep.
But these were the ones that I didn't have a paraprofessional in the class with me, so.
So these were people that didn't really know what
Right.
their needs were.
Right.
Okay. How about you, Colleen? What's something that wasn't helpful in a school setting?
Something that wasn't helpful was being bullied. I was bullied from like first grade through high school, and sometimes when there's unstructured situations in a classroom or in a cafeteria or a gym, that can lead to kids being bullied, not just kids on the autistic spectrum, but anybody. Stuff that also didn't help was if a teacher didn't really take the time to explain what he or she meant by something, or if how do I say that? If a teacher didn't really it didn't really see me for what I was, or think I wasn't capable of doing something on my own when I knew I could.
You?
Yeah.
So not being
given enough credit for your capabilities.
Yeah, and I didn't really get that a lot in public schools. Sometimes in college there are people who know you have a disability. They get nervous when you want to do something. Sometimes they're like, can you really do that? I know you have a disability and this is hard, but sometimes people with disabilities, we know ourselves more than other people think we do. And if we feel like we can take on a challenge with some assistance, we can do it.
okay.
Being sold short is like a slap in the face if you know it's something you're capable of, especially if it's someone who's supposed to be helping you, like a teacher that's telling you you can't do it.
How about you, Lucas?
Well, in connection with that, I would also agree bullying, and this is another thing that I can't stress enough. Bullying is a serious problem in schools. I've experienced it a great deal myself, more when I was younger, because when I was older, I learned through our program and through just personal experience and a lot of guidance and a lot of good role models and mentors how to better stick up for myself, how to better deal with things. But really just the lack of respect and the lack really even of empathy that I've seen from other students, just the complete casual carelessness with which they'll just so quickly walk all over somebody else's feelings or ego. It's sickening. And I went through it a lot in elementary school. There was also, unfortunately, the lack of supervision also facilitated more of it than was, I don't want to say necessary, but some of it could have been avoided, I guess I want to say, if supervision had been better. A lot of teachers, I think, don't know how to deal with bullying. They aren't really either taught, they're not given any formal instruction on how to handle it, and they often will, at least in my experience, I've had teachers just sort of turn a blind eye and let it continue rather than address it and get into a confrontation.
Well, and bullying isn't always something. There's many ways to be bullied, and part of being bullied is not being accepted, and